Alright, thematically, the Titan class is fucked up. It's the class without an identity, or at the very least, a concrete fantasy theme to back it up. Every subclass is a variation of punching in a different color, and that's pretty much it. Punching the ground or punching a body. Rainbow-colored fists is all that they ever get. Now ask yourself, what fantasy trope does that appeal to exactly? A boxer, I suppose? And that's kind of reaching, to be honest, because I don't think that's what they were going for. Let me explain. The Hunter class. The majority of the Destiny fanbase. Coincidence? I don't think so. It appeals to very specific fantasy archetypes. Archetypes that are very popular in the fantasy genre and in real life. The Hunter is the thief, the mysterious lone wolf, the space cowboy, the ninja, the warrior monk, and last but not least, a hunter, a predator. How do these come across in game? Very easily, actually, and you can pick your favorite theme and main it or constantly bounce between them. Appealing to the ninja fantasy. Invisibility, smoke bombs, traps, and a bow and an arrow. Ditching the smoke bombs for more agility in the form of faster recharge for dodges, harder to kill while dodging, and a literal fist to the face. The arc staff super itself is also animated very well to be elusive-like and simultaneously graceful while in motion, while your long flowy cloak trails behind you. They clearly had an objective when making it, and it comes through beautifully. Now, the Space Cowboy, which is by far my most favorite subclass in the game, the Gunslinger. Very self-explanatory. You have a flaming revolver and cool knife tricks. Simple and fucking cool. What makes a gunslinger so cool in my opinion is that cowboys actually existed in America where I'm from. So not only is it a fantasy trope to be a gunslinging loose cannon, it's just a part of history. Fantasy references and real life references to circle back to is just a surefire way to have a cool subclass. Warlocks, which I have to say seems to be very obviously the class they thought of first and the class with the clearest vision of them all. Trench coats, robes, books, staffs, and magic. Every subclass is very in-your-face obvious, which is the main problem with Titan, but I'll get to that later. Master of the Mystic Arts, Doctor Strange, Space Magic, Jedi, Emperor Palpatine, Warrior Scholar, Paladin, all of which are obvious and cool as fuck and need no introduction. Now, the point of this video, Titans, known for punching, and yeah, that's about it. But let me be fair, clearly Bungie has tried, in quotation marks, as the melee focus class, getting you to believe that Titans are the melee focus class, which for the most part, they kind of are, I guess. I don't know. That's cool and all, but that's not a theme. That's just an ability that you can do. That's like calling the Hunter class the dodging class, or calling the Warlock class the flying class. Like that's not a theme. That's not an archetype. That's not a fantasy trope that you can use. It's just an ability in the game that everyone has, mind you, and everyone has good melee abilities in this game as well. Titans punch and punch and punch. We punch things in different colors. Sentinel is fucking cool, and Void 3.0 really helped with that. Now, the super itself is okay, but I give them props for actually giving Titans a shield to be a protector. Ward of Dawn also plays into that fantasy of being a protector. Cool and all, but is that an actual theme? Yes, but kinda no, but I'll take it. I'll give them that one. Overshields help with tankiness. The theme is there, but it's very uninteresting in comparison to the other two. You have an archangel, you have a cowboy, you have a gunslinger ninja, you have a monk, you have a space mage, and then you have a protector. Fine, a little boring, but my problem with it is that protector is so broad and unspecific. You can easily tie that into something a little more specific, a little more cool, but they chose not to do that. Interesting choice, but fine. Now, I do see that they tried to make the Titan the warrior class, and I have to say try because they never really explicitly said that, unlike with the other two classes. There's not an actual clear-cut theme that they are working with for the Titan class. It's kind of just vague, unspecific ideas. No definitive archetype.
For the Titan, they are burn the world, basically. Like, they are the best at big damage. So for the gunslinger, like, they're the best at weapon damage, so they are the people that make their team radiant. And then for the Warlock, we wanted to lean into this combo of Archangel and Pyromancer, where they're very good at burning things, but also, like, they're the best healers out of the classes.
The priority is always deliver on fantasy, deliver on fun.
Now here, you have the gunslinger, which is best at weapon damage, tying it back to its theme of being a gunslinger cowboy. The warlock, again, with its theme of being a benevolent healing archangel, while also being the best healer out of the two classes. Or a pyromancer, once again, tying back to the fantasy. And Titan, burn the world, basically, is what he said. That's not an archetype. That's not a theme. That's not a cool fantasy trope. Burn the world? The Warlock also does that. Even the Hunter. What's supposed to be unique there? They didn't even mention an archetype for the Titan. They didn't even get specific. They most likely just don't even have a plan for the Titan class. It almost just seems random.
We just started throwing out random ideas.
Consecration came out of this idea that we wanted to give Titans an ability that was just like, one thing needs to die.
You had pitched slide melee uppercut, and it was like, oh, well, if you're in the air with two hammers, there's no way you're not slamming them.
Very different from anything we've ever built before. So we weren't actually...
We have gunpowder gamble. I call it like a super trip mine, effectively. It's like a bundle of 3 trip mine grenades that you like duct tape together or like wrapped up with a belt. It can stick to walls and it can stick to enemies. But the cool part of it is, we made it really easy for you to shoot it out of the air. So you can really live your gunslinger trick shot fantasies of like throwing a stick of dynamite and then whipping out your hand cannon, blasting it out of the air to like blow people up behind cover or behind a corner.
The Titan has a hammer now, so they might as well slam them. That's the line of thought there. Again, hunters get tied back to their archetype and power fantasy. Cowboy gunslinger. Flaming hammers are cool, but what are you supposed to be exactly? What's the archetype here? It kind of just feels like a guy with a hammer because it isn't tied to an idea or any type of symbolism. You have a giant hammer and you slam it down and release a fire tornado? Like, cool, I guess. Like, that's cool, but why? What am I supposed to be in that moment? It just feels unbelievably random. Again, not saying hammers aren't cool, but it just lacks direction and purpose. This lack of direction also bleeds into gameplay mechanics. The entire subclass is based around throwing a tiny hammer and making sunspots. Nothing very interesting, to be honest. Why? Because it doesn't tie into anything at all. No symbolism, no archetype, it doesn't tie into anything. You can make this infinitely cooler by tying it into some sort of warrior archetype. What about a flaming Spartan? And instead of a ridiculous oversized warhammer that makes tornadoes for some reason, that doesn't make much sense, replace that with a flaming oversized shield and spear, perhaps. You could be a flaming Spartan as an embodiment of Leonidas. That's an actual archetype and better than just destruction and big guy with big hands and big hammer. Which brings me to my last topic. If you want Titan to be the warrior class, we have an infinite number of warrior archetypes in real life. We've had actual warriors in real life since humans could make weapons. Spartans, samurai, Vikings, holy crusaders, knights, gladiators, Native American warriors, modern day soldiers, mercenaries, and the list goes on. How in the hell could they have not tied any of these badass archetypes into the Titan class? I really don't get it. Arc is just punching with lightning, and Stasis is just punching with ice on your hand. Solar, you have a hammer for some reason, and it makes flame tornadoes. It just sounds ridiculous compared to the other two classes, where they have such defined fantasies that they play into. Sentinel is just about the only subclass that has any semblance of an actual identity. The armor doesn't reflect any known warrior archetype either. It just looks ridiculous a lot of the times. Big shoulder pads with no real theme a lot of the time, or just generic armored person. It's very strange. No Viking themed armor. What about more knight themed armor? How about some mercenary gear? How about some soldier gear? Like, You can be a Juggernaut from Modern Warfare 2. I don't know, some Spartan armor. Like, the only option is just to have ridiculous shoulder pads that don't make sense, or you look literally homeless. It's just, we have warriors in real life with actual armor that you can base your armor off of. Why is that so hard? We have hunter shit with ninja shoes and stuff like that, and you have cowboy boots and all this other stuff, but like, for the love of God, there's like no decent armor that's a callback to any sort of archetype for the Titan class, and it's just really, really strange. And as I'm filming this video, I just watched the Lightfall trailer, and you can see the new Darkness subclasses, which is what was the name of it? String Thread? I don't know the name of it. I'm literally watching it as I record this, and you see the Warlock. They explain it as, oh, the Warlocks are unlocking the secrets of, you know, of the world through this ability, and they can like reach into another reality and then make these strings or whatever Warlock mystic mumbo jumbo. And then you see what the hunter has. It has a rope dart, which is, you know, a Japanese, I think, or a Chinese weapon that like perfectly fits with the ninja type style that hunter has. And then you see what the Titans have, and he has like some claws, and he just starts spinning in a circle like Burning Maul, and it's just like, what is that supposed to be? You know, like, it could be cool. The blades on your arm could be cool, and you spin around in the circle like a ballerina. Fine, it could be cool, but like, what is that? What is that supposed to be? What archetype are they playing up? Like, even just these new subclasses that haven't even come out yet, the vision is clear for Warlock, and it's clear for Hunter, and for Titan, it's just like, random bullshit, go. I just I just don't get it. Like, they need to oh god, it's so hard to like make a respectful video like this because I legitimately do not understand it. Oh my god. But anyway, rant over. This is the end of the video. It's kind of sad because the Titan class makes up such a small part of the community compared to the other two classes, and especially compared to Hunter. And I don't feel like there's enough care in the community to like recontextualize the Titan class the same way they did for the Warlock rework on Dawnblade before Solar 3.0 even came out. I don't think that there's going to be enough community support for that, and it sure as hell doesn't seem like there are enough Titan mains working at Bungie that will care enough to fix that either. It's kind of just strange, man. So I'm probably pissing in the wind at this point. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And yeah, see you in the next video. As always, peace.